Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the Volusia Speedway in Volusia, Florida for round number 2 of the Bartel Builders Street Stockers as we get ready to go with tonight's racing action. 30 laps on tap for the Street Stockers here at Volusia. As it was 1 week ago, we saw Brian Hacker just edge out Casey Beatty just for the win here 1 week ago. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight's race is going to be a barn burner. These guys are just finishing their hot lap session. Time trials were done earlier along with an LCQ to set tonight's 29 car starting grid. And we'll get to that here just in a moment as everybody starts to get to the front stretch here as the session has come to a close. So Brian Hacker and Casey Beatty come into round number 2 tied for the points lead, as everybody's will start to grid here on the front row for tonight's main event. And so here's how tonight's starting grid will look. As on the pole will be the 00 of Tim Hale. To his outside will be the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre Jr. Starting on the inside of row number 2 will be the 91 of Steve Murray. To his outside will be the number 40 of Josiah Millen. Starting on the inside, row number 3 will be the 64 of Andrew Plank. To his outside, the 11 with quick time tonight, Brian Hacker. Kelly Dahl in car number 99 will start in your 7th starting spot. Starting outside of him, the number 20 of Justin McDuff. Starting on the inside of row number 6, it is the number 15 of Chuck Hayes and the 98 of Chris Stump. Starting on the inside, row number 7 will be the number 2 of Brett Bartels. To his outside will be the 72 of Fast Andy Lambert. Starting on the inside of row number 8 in the Kong Coolers, car number 29, that is Ira Kolos. To his outside, the number 3 of Matt McLean. Colin Phillips, starting in the car number 53, will start on the inside of row number 9. To his outside, the number 8 of John Edwards. Robbie Schaefer in car number 97 will start from the inside of row number 10, to outside of him, the 54 of Rex Hoyle. Richard French and Brandon Massey make up row 11. Jeremy Carpenter in car number 1 will start 12th, outside of him, the 25 of David Worrell. Paul LaCourte in car number 41 will start on the inside of row number 13, to his outside, the number 21 of Matt Heff. Scott Austin in car number 7 will start on the inside of row number 14, and to his outside will be the number 9, that's Brian Jones. And shotgun on the field will be car number 71, that is Jeremy Watkins. Tim Hale going to take the field down through turns 3 and 4 for the final time before we go green flag racing, this time off of turn number 4, the pace truck. Going to make its way down on the pit road as we go green. This time off the corner. We're underway for the first time here at Volusia with the Bartel Builders Street Stockers. Brian Hacker already going 3 wide in the middle as they come off the corner number 2 and down the backstretch. Here comes Steve Murray. He takes a bid to the inside as they come through turns numbers 3 and 4 for the first time. McIntyre working the outside off the corner. He'll lead lap number 1. It'll be the 81 Best Colorful Creations Eddie Meat Market entry from Krogan, New York, as they work down the backstretch. Here they come. Still side by side. 3 wide. Hacker on the move now. He'll get into the outside of the 00 of Hale, and it looks like we have gone under caution. Let me take a look to see who might have been involved with that. Looks like the 65 of Brandon Massey possibly involved as he's getting back to his spot with the old shed number 65. Massey had tough luck last week at the Knoxville Raceway. The car would not go in gear. Had to start the race from the pits, so looking for a good rebound here tonight is the number 65 of Brandon Massey. As the field paces around the racetrack, your race leader is the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre Jr. He started on the outside of the front row and was up there. The guy on the move is the number 11. That is Brian Hacker. Brian Hacker is your current points leader coming in tonight. He's tied with the number 45 of Casey Beatty, who sits in the 10th spot right now. Josiah Millen. In the car number 40 sits fourth. Steve Murray, driver out of Vermont. He's sitting there in your fifth spot. Justin McDuff with the Jurassic Park car. He's looking to take a bite out of the competition here tonight at the Volusia Speedway. Right behind him, the 64 of Andrew Plank, the driver out of North Carolina. Then we got our Canadian, our resident Canadian, the 99 of Kelly Dahl. Al Smith Jr., the boss man in the 96. Going to restart there in front of Beatty. So it looks like Beatty will be in your 11th spot. Everybody gets crossed up as we're going to go back green flag racing as they work off a turn number 2. Very tricky and technical raceway here is the Volusia Speedway, home of the Dirt Car Nationals. Pace track going to make the left-hand turn. We're going to go back green. Five in the books of 35. Green flag is out, and McIntyre going to jump on the gas pedal first. Hacker going to quickly move in the second underneath the 00 of Hale. Hale working the outside. A little bit of electrical issues on that 00s. We got a bid for your race lead. Brian Hacker working to the bottom of Jim McIntyre off of turn number 4. It'll be side by side at the line. The Catfish, Brian Hacker working the bottom of the speedway. He's bringing the 40 of Josiah Millen with him right through turns 1 and 2. McIntyre works the outside as they work off the corner. A little bit of bobble out of the Eddie's Meat Market number 81 as they head down into turns 3 and 4. Murray looking good. He sits in your 4th spot as they come off the corner. Back there, the 20 of Justin McDuff was taking a peek underneath the 00 Hale. He'll make it past him as that puts the 20 of McDuff inside the top 5 as they work down the backstretch. Car going around the 45 of Beatty going around. Looks like he's collected the 98 a Stump as well and the 15 of Chuck Hayes. So heavy front end damage on the 45 of Casey Beatty as he has brought out the yellow, slowing the field for the second time here tonight at the Volusia Speedway. Lap 9 of 35 in the books, and that car is all torn up. Dave Worrell in the 25, first start with us here tonight in the Street Stocker division, brought to you by Bartel Builders in the Upstate Racing League. This is week number 2, but your current race leader is the 11, Brian Hacker. His set fast time here tonight in qualifying. Now finds himself in the race lead. Jimmy McIntyre started second, is in second. The 40 of Josiah Millen, and that number 40 car, he is your number 2. Or number 3 right there, the Jack Daniels car number 40. Steve Murray, the unsponsored automobile, rides in 4th. 20 of Justin McDuff is in your 5th spot. Tim Hale, 00. Then it is the number 2 of Brett Bartels. Bartels really closed in on your race leaders last week at the Knoxville Raceway. Came home with a podium finish. Comes into tonight's action in 3rd in points. Right behind him is the Slack Karts Performance Manufacturer number 96. That's Al Smith Jr. out of Southland Falls, New York. Then it's the 64. That is Andrew Plank to his outside, Ira Kolas. In car number 29. That's your top 10 as they run. Matt McLean and Rex Hoyle looking for their way inside the top 10. As we're going to go on board, coming to the green flag with the 11 of Brian Hacker. You see what he sees at the pace truck. Going to make his way onto the front pits. And we're going to be back green as they come off the corner. Green flag is back out, and Hacker with a nice jump. He gets out there. Side-by-side battle back there for your number 2 spot. Track really starting to slick off. We're seeing the top and bottom lines, multiple groups of racing here. We have them 3 wide back there with Matt McLean. He works the inside of the 96 of Smith Jr. Smith Jr. behind a 00 Hale. They come off a turn number 4. They're all side by side. Smith Jr. will get around the 3 of McLean. McLean working that lower line behind the 64 of Plank. And here comes Robbie Schaefer, driver out of Pennsylvania in the 97, working down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. They have a whole pile of cars in front of them. Dave Worrell working underneath the 65 of Massey, that time out the corner. Rex Hoyle And the 29 of Kolos going side by side as they come through turns 1 and 2. Field working side by side all the way back around the speedway. They work through turns 3 and 4. Smith Jr. working the inside. Contact with the 3 of McLean that time off the corner. That moves the 96 up the raceway. Out front of this still. And we got cars bouncing. The 54 of Hoyle. Hoyle gonna go around. And we're gonna collect a few other cars out back. Looks like the 54 of Rex Hoyle involved. The 15 of Chuck Hayes. 65 of Brandon Massey also involved. The 29 of Kolos and the 64 of Andrew Plank all going around on the backstretch, slowing the field down. Lap 16 of 35 in the books. So everybody able to get their car back going in the right direction. A couple cars going to make the hard left-hand turn. Oh, didn't look like it. So they're going to stay out with heavy front end damage on the old shed. 65 of Brandon Massey, who had a terrible week at Knoxville. Had good speed, just transmission issues on the grid. Finds himself back here in the 27th position early in this one. Still 18 laps left to go as we got a few drivers coming down pit road, including Ira Kolos and that 29 Rex Hoyle coming down pit road. 53 of Philip Collins is on pit road as well. So as we work closer to the halfway point of this race, Brian Hacker out front. That Narrative Coffee Speed 51's Western Super Series sponsored number 11 is your race leader, the 81, Jimmy McIntyre. Sits in your number 2 spot. He's shown a lot of speed so far this season. After just 1 week, he was up front most of the race at Knoxville. Didn't quite get the finish he was hoping for. Look at the 20 of Justin McDuff. He started in your 8th position. He's all the way up to 4th. Brett Bartels in the number 2 car. 5th, Steve Murray still hanging out inside the top 10 in that 91. As we're going to go back green flag racing, this time off of turn number 4. Hacker will slam the loud pedal first. We're back underway. Oh, contact back there with the 96 Smith Jr. in the 00 of Hale. Everybody keeps it pointed in the right direction. The 9 of Brian Jones making a nice move on the outside. He works the inside. The 926 and, oh, the 926 going to make contact. Hale's going to go around. The 926 goes around. Still bouncing off. Andy Lambert involved. Nowhere to go as we have a whole gaggle of cars. It's a parking lot back here in turn 1 and 2. As the field paces, looks like the 926 and the 45 had made contact, and that got them up into the 00 of Hale. Right front fender torn off. The 926 of French, the driver out of Granville, New York, to Shuney's Market, car number 926. He's all the way back as he get back to his his space right there behind the 41 of Paul LaCourte. LaCourte having some front end damage on that 41. Looks like everybody's able to get back underway. Let's see how bad Andy Lambert's car looks as he made heavy contact with the outside wall down in turn number 1. Chris Stump right there in front of him. So a tough break for there as we have the field pace in single file as we got 14 laps to go. Let's go through your race in order. It is the 11 of Brian Hacker still showing the way. Jimmy McIntyre in your number 2 spot. Josiah Millen 3rd. Justin McDuff 4th. 5th spot will be the 91 of Steve Murray, the number 2 of Brett Bartels. Matt McLean making a charge towards the front. He's in that number 3 car. The 97 of Robbie Schaefer. Then it's the 96 of Al Smith Jr. that rounds in Casey Beatty. And car number 45 rounding out your top 10. Paul LaCourte sits 11. Then it is the 926 of Richard French, Brian Jones in the 9J. Then the 99 of Kelly Dahl. That's your 14th. And rounding out your top 15, the 7 of Scott Austin, as we're going to go back green flag racing. 29 cars started the race. 3 of them are out, unfortunately. The 65 of Brandon Massey, 54 of Rex Hoyle, and the 29 of Ira Colas have all put it on the trailer tonight. Green flag is out. It will be 12 laps to go for Brian Hacker as he comes down the front stretch. Single file till you get back here to the 97 of Robbie Schaefer trying to make a move. Al Smith Jr. gets up high as we got yellow once again. Possibly Dave Worrell involved with the 72 of Andy Lambert. Andy Lambert back there in no man's land with his web number 72. Lambert coming over to the dirt from the asphalt side. Had a very decent season with the Upstate Racing League for the Fueled by Verge Pro Late Model Series that just wrapped up in January. So the field's going to shuffle back out. Tim Hale is on pit road. Richard French has called it a night with his Shuni's Market 926. Too much damage on the right front for his car to continue. Colin Phillips still working on his number 53 on pit road. No change inside your top 5. Steve Murray rounds out your top 5. That's number 2 of Brett Bartles. And then the 3 of Matt McLean, 97. Robbie Schaefer, Al Smith Jr. was saved with that yellow as he got jumped to cushion down in turn number 1. Beatty right there behind him in car number 45. Then it's the 41 of Paul LaCourte, the 9J of Brian Jones. Then it's the 99 of Kelly Dahl, the 7 of Scott Austin, the 64 of Andrew Plank, the 1 of Jeremy Carpenter. We're at his Carpenter Tax Service Devil's Bowl Speedway number 1. 15, that's Chuck Hayes in car number 15. The 8 is John Edwards. 21 is Matt Heft, and the 98 of Chris Dump. As we're back, green flag racing as they come down here. It'll be 8 laps to go. 8 more circuits to go. Millen going to work to the inside of the 81 of McIntyre. McIntyre with a nice round on the outside. Here comes Steve Murray. Murray working to the inside of McDuff. They'll be side by side down in the turn number 3. McDuff slams the door shut on the 91 of Murray. They're side by side for second in front of them. 40 of Millen working to the inside of Jimmy McIntyre as they work down the backstretch. The 11 of Hacker enjoying what he's seeing. Side by side. That time McIntyre way out of shape. That's going to allow the 40 of Millen with a nice drive on the inside. They come off, rub a little rails down the front stretch. It'll be McIntyre still holding on to your number 2 spot. Millen sits there in your number 3 spot. Then it's McIntyre or McDuff. And now the 91 of Murray. He's starting to feel the pressure from the 2 of Bartles. Bartles has the 97 all over the back bumper. Beatty working to the outside of the 96 of Smith Jr. Is it the 3-car battle now up front the front of this one? Millen working to the inside of the 20 of McDuff, trying to make the diamond move as they come off to turn number 2 and down the backstretch. It'll be Justin McDuff with just 5 laps to go. This time by it'll be 4 to go for the 11. Someone is getting ready to go to victory lane for second week in a row in the Bartel Builder Street Stockers. But Jimmy McIntyre starting to close back in. Can he do anything with the 11 of Hacker? Hacker working down the backstretch in the turns 1 and 2. It is the 11 of Hacker showing the way. 3 laps to go. We look at on the roll bar of the 11, the throttle controls. We look now down the back stretch as he looks back at the field. Off of turn number 4 we go. It'll be 2 more laps. Popsicle sticks are up as we head down to the turn 1 once again. Battle for top 3 has kind of settled out now as we work down the back stretch. It'll be just the final trip through turns 3 and 4 and one more circuit. One car down low to 72. That looked like Lambert slow, as that's going to bring out the yellow. Yellow and white flag flying. So that'll wrap up the race. Brian Hacker going to go back-to-back wins. I also picked up here tonight, picking up the pole speed. Had to start 6. Got to the front. Jimmy McIntyre Jr. will come in your number 2 spot. Then it'll be Josiah Millen rounding out your podium. One car out of the podium spot is the number 20 of Justin McDuff. Steve Murray with a top 5. Gonna finishing 6th in tonight's field will be the number 2 of Brett Bartels, the 97 of Robbie Schaefer will come home in the 7th spot. Beatty in the 45 will come home in 8th. Al Smith Jr. will finish 9th. And rounding out your top 10 will be the number 3 of Matt McLean, as that is your race leader, the 11 of Brian Hacker. For the second week in a row for the Bartel Builders Street Stocks, it'll be Brian Hacker. Finishing in 11th spot, continuing down, is the number 7 of Scott Austin. He had a nice rebound here tonight, finishing 12th to 99 of Kelly Dahl. Andrew Plank will finish in the 13th spot. Brian Jones will finish in 14th. Chuck Hayes will round out in the 15th spot in car number 15. Chris Stump with a mixed race will finish 16th. John Edwards 17th. David Worrell, car number 25, will finish 18th. Then the number 1 of Jeremy Carpenter, 19th, and rounding out your top 20 will be the 21 of Matt Heft. Jeremy Watkins will finish 21st. Paul LaCourte will finish 22nd in his number 41. Colin Phillip, Andy Lambert will finish 24th. 926 of Richard Finch will finish 25th. 26 will go to Tim Hale, Brandon Massey, Rex Hoyle, and Ira Kohlhaas. All round out your feature results. So that'll do a wrap here from the Volusia Speedway. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's racing, as the series will head to the USA Speedway next week for the Go Bowling 50. On behalf of Bartel's Builders and everybody involved here at the Upstate Racing League, we thank you for watching, and you guys have a great night, and we'll see you at the track.